अरुणाचल शिव अरुणाचल शिव अरुणाचल शिव अरुणाचल
Om Upasakanam yadupasaniyam upattavasam vatashakimule taddhamadakshinyajusha swamurtyam jagartu chitte mama bodharupam adraksham akshinadayanidhanam आचार्यमाद्यं वटमूलभागे मौनेन मन्दस्मितभूषितेन महर्षिलोकस्य तमोनुदन्तं विद्राविताशेषतमोगणेन मुद्राविशेषेण मुहुर्मुनीनां निरस्यमायां दयया विधत्ते देवो महांस्तत्त्वमसीति बोधम् ममाद्य देवो वटमूलवासी कृपाविशेषात्कृतसन्निधानः ओंकाररूपाम् उपदिश्य विद्याम् आविद्यगध्वान्तमपाकरोतु देहं मृण्मयवज्जडात्मकमहं बुद्धिर्न तस्यास्त्यतो नाहं तत्तदभावसुप्तिसमये सिद्धात्मसद्भावतः कोहं भावयुतः कुतो वरधिया दृष्ट्वात्मनिष्ठात्मनां सोहं स्फूर्तितया अरुणाचलशिवः पूर्णो विभाति स्वयम् अमलरजतदेहं भाति चिज्योतिरेकम् हृदयकुहरमध्ये निष्कलं देवरूपं निकटपथि विचारैः वृत्तिभिः सादरेण सभयम् अभिवरेण्यं तेजसा दीप्यमानं सकलकरणतनुधियां यः प्रेरकः स्वेन भासां कबलितजगदण्डः पिण्डमध्ये शयानः सकलहृदयवासः शाश्वतो ब्रह्मरूपः वितरतु परिशुद्धिं चेतसो नः शिवाख्यः। மதிக்கு ஒளி தந்தம் மதிக்குள் ஒளிரும் மதியினை உள்ளே மடக்கி பதியிற் பதித்திடுதல் அன்றி பதியை மதியால் மதித்திடுதல் எங்கன் மதியாய். All these days I was doing one mistake, reading this Tamil verse with the English alphabets. It will be very easy only if we read it in Tamil. So, evayum kaanum madikki olir tande. Yesterday we saw that. That which illumines the intellect, it is the self. Intellect is the subtlemost upadhi, adjunct. And that which illumines the intellect, that which enlivens the intellect, so that is the Gayatri mantra also. Dhiyo yonah prachodayad. Let it do prachodanam, enlivening, illumining my intellect. And Madiyinai ulle madaki. Turn the intellect towards that and let it behold the light of the self and abide there. So this is the verse that we saw yesterday. Now continuing, the next verse. nāṉeṇḍṛu i-d-dēham navilādu. uṟakkattu nāṉiṉḍṛென்று ārum navilvadilai. நான் ஒன்று எழுந்தபின் எல்லாம் எழும் இந்த நான் எங்கு எழும் என்று நுண்மதியால் எண்ண நழுவும். This is the song. i-d-dēham நான் என்று navilādu. This is a great clarity which Bhagavan brings about. When we generally in Vedanta, not only in Advaita Vedanta, all Vedanta, as such Vishishta Advaita, Advaita are all called Vedanta. They are all referred. They also have written Bhashyam for Brahma Sutram, Bhagavad Gita, everything. They all also say that the body is not me. I am not the body. So this is a common thing. This is a common thing. So, but Bhagavan brings about an explosion in clarity, where he says, the body never says I. It is a great insight where Bhagavan says, the body never says I. The dead body will not say I. And even while living, which part in the body, or is it the conglomeration of everything in the body that says I? You see, every part you analyze, no part in the body says I. The hand is not saying I, the leg is not saying I, the head is not saying I. If you remove the liver, the heart, the brain, no part inside the body also will say I. These are all called kala. Kala means part. Panchadasha kalaha. The Upanishad says, Kala Panchadasha Pratishta Devasya Sarve Pratidevatasu Karmani Vijnanamayasya Atma Parevyaye Sarvayeki Bhavanti. All these limbs, they all merge in the Avyakta. So too the I thought also merge in the Avyakta, and what remains is pure consciousness, which is not hand or leg or liver or kidney or brain. And sometimes, this medical science, medical people, they find some new part in the body, just like finding new planet. This body we call myself, and suddenly they say there is a new part inside the body. And certain portion of the body, why it is there inside the body, they are not able to explain. These are all anatma vastu. These are all anatma. These things are all non-self. They never say I. Nothing say I. But when you are alive, the I is there. And if you seek the I, the usual example is you keep a pot of water and the sun is reflected in the water. And to find out, seeing that reflection, you search the reflection to find out the sun. Will it be possible? You have to leave the pot, the water, the reflection, and look above to see the true sun. Like that, the body, the mind inside, and the reflection image, Chidabhasa, what we call as I, the image, self-image. All these things appear and disappear. Leaving all that, you have to see the real self, which is the substratum behind. Dēham gadam jalam tadgadam arkabimbam vihaya sarvam vinirikshadehi arkaha. As Vivekachudamani says, the pot should be given up, the water should be ignored, the reflection should be ignored, and see the sky, to see the real sun. So, the body never says I. nāṉeṇḍṛīd i-d-dēham navilādu. In Sanskrit verse which usually we chant, dēham mriṇmayavat jadatmakam aham buddhihi na tasya asti. The body is jada, inert, like made by mud, like a clay doll. Aham buddhihi na tasya asti. It has no aham buddhi, no I thought. Ataha naham tad. I am not that. Then what am I? Tad abhava supti savaye siddhatma sadbhavataha. Every day in the sleep, in the sushupti, in the deep sleep, where the body is not felt, nobody says I was not there. The I thought was not there, you can find out. But without the I thought, the self is fully present. So, you are not becoming absent by the absence of the I thought. This is great demonstration. This is the only thing that you have to understand for self-realization. That's all. You very clearly see that by the absence of the body or the brain or the I thought about which we are afraid in death, that is what we call death. But nothing is lost. Every day the demonstration is happening that you are not in need of the body. You are not in need of the mind. You are not in need of the brain, intellect. You are not in need of yourself. Without all these, instead of becoming, feeling any loss, you feel gained, you feel whole, you feel rejuvenated. You find nothing lacking there. When the body is there, of course problems are there. Something or the other will be creating problem. And the mind also always not happy. And I am greater than somebody, smaller than someone. That also I cannot do anything. But when all these things are wiped out in deep sleep, all are same. Somewhere some English poet has said about sleep, the great leveler. He makes everything level, same. All are same. All are same. No good man, no bad man. Good man's sleep, bad man's sleep, saints sleep, sinners sleep, criminal sleep. No. Mother was not there, father was not there while asleep. No difference. Na mata, pita, va na devaha, na lokaha, na vedaha, na yajnaha, na tirtham bruvanti, sushuptavu. Nirastati shunyatmakatvat. And when you deny everything, the question arises, then it is shunya. nothing, no shunya. It is filling, it is so deeply fulfilling. So it is purnam. Nirastati shunyatmakatvat. What remains there is tadeko avashishtaha. Avashishtaha means that which remains. Is Shivah kevaloham. That Shivam, that auspiciousness, that awareness is my real swarupa, real nature. So the same thing, Bhagavan, what Bhagavad Pada said, Bhagavan also says. Bhagavad Pada is Shankaracharya's name. And Ramana Bhagavan also, Lakshmana Sharma is somewhere, Jagadisha Shastri in some places, they refer to Bhagavan as Ramana Bhagavad Pada. They refer to Bhagavan also as Ramana Bhagavad Pada. Jagadish Shastri, many places, they have written Bhagavad Padeihi Ramanacharyehi eva muktam. Ramana Bhagavad Padena eva muktam. Yeah. So, Lakshmana Sharma has written like that. He has given that name to Bhagavan also, the Bhagavad Pada. So that Pada Shabda also means Jnanam. Padam means Jnanam. That is why in our name also that Ramana and Charana. Charana means Pada only. Charana is Pada. Pada means it's Jnana Swarupam. So Bhagavan, Bhagavad Pada are all same. The same Jnanam only. nāṉeṇṭṛid dēham navilādu. i-d-dēham, this body, never says I. Uṟakkattum nāṉiṇṭṛeṇ ārum navilvadilai. In sleep, nobody says I was absent. No, I was fully present. Then when I wake up, nāṉoṇḍṛeṛundapi. When I wake up, what happens? Who wakes up? The I thought wakes up. The mystery is from where it wakes up. That is the mystery. First of all, the greatest wonder is, for some time the I thought was not there. And suddenly the I thought arises, then you get connected with everything. With I thought, everything becomes meaningful. With I thought, you come and collect all the 15 materials which the Upanishad said. Eye, ear, nose, ellā. எல்லாம் பழைய அதே எடுத்துக்கிறோம். யாரோடாவது கண்ணையெல்லாம் எடுத்துக்கலையே. The same senses, the same intellect, the same mind, everything you collect and come and say, I am. Natam bodhayedityāhuhu. The Shruti says one should not wake up a person giving him a shock, because it is possible that disorientation can come. He might not get connected correctly with the senses and the mind. Problems might arise. It is accepted fact in Ayurveda also. Natam bodhayedityāhuhu. So that is. So, i-d-dēham nāṉeṇṭṛu navilādu. The body never says I. Uṟakkattu nāṉiṇṭṛeṇ ārum navilvadilai. Nobody says, because the I thought was absent, I was absent, nobody says. The I thought, of course, was not there, but the I am, the essence, the amness, the satta, existence was there. nāṉoṇḍṛeṛundapi. After this I thought arises, ellām eഴുம். Our old problems, everything arises. At least once you sleep, somewhere if it is lost, well and good. You come inside this body and take back all your old problems. Everything is inside this kshetram. So when you enter it, these theosophical people, I think it is they say when you sleep, you go to some other world. Out of the body experience. Dream world is another world. That is also Pramanam is there, Shruti Pramana is there. Then you come back, you enter this body and take everything. All the old thing you take. First of all, you enter the body and take the Aadhaar card and look, oh, this is my name. So now somebody calls me with this name, I have to respond. Then this is my house, this is my place, this everything. So, nāṉeṇ்ಢṛeṇ ellam ežum. The moment the I thought arises, everything else arises. In the nān engu ežum endru. And now Bhagavan gives the sadhana. The first thing that Bhagavan said is, it's like a statement. It's like vastu tantra jnanam. He just revealed what is happening, that's all. The truth he just revealed. But now he is giving the sadhana. The sadhana is, when the I thought arises, everything arises. This is an accepted fact. Without I thought, no other thought is possible. After the I thought arises, you, he, everything comes. nāṉeṇ்ಢṛeṇ ellam ežum. Now Bhagavan says, இந்த நான் எங்கு எழும் என்று nuṇmatiyāl எண்ணு. In the waking hours, with vigilance, with alertness, just scrutinize, investigate. Follow the I thought, inwardly probe the I thought. Engu ežum, where from this I thought arises? Naturally we will ask, then who is questioning? Because if you have to question the I thought, you should be different from the I thought. How can you question? Certainly the intellect is subtler than that. That is why the intellect is able to question that. So the intellect is doing this questioning, where from this I thought arises. Vijnana koshe vilasatyachasram lakshyam vidhayenam asadvilakshanam akhandavritya atmataya anubhavaya. As Viveka Chudamani, Bhagavad Pada says, the I thought plays around in Vijnanamaya kosha, in the intellect. And when you inquire the I thought, you find that it vanishes, but instead of feeling emptiness, you find it is purna. Asad vilakshanam, it is not asad. And that purnatva you hold on, practice, become familiar with, become acclimatized with that state of no I. Become familiar with that state of no I. Because first you will be afraid, oh, I is not there, no energy. Anything you get addicted. You are addicted to this I-ing now. I. Ayyar, Ayyangar. All I. We are addicted to that. So you just inquire, what is this I? Then you find that the I is no more there. There is maunam. There is silence. But first, you are not acclimatized there. You are not familiar with that state. And Bhagavad Pada says, become familiar with that state. Become familiar with that state. Because that is the most auspicious state of well-beingness. So, asad lakshyam vidhayenam asadvilakshanam. The yati has only that lakshya. The yati, the sannyasi, the monk, gave up everything else, every identity to become that Akasha. So gave up everything for the sake of becoming one with that truth. Lakshyam mottai adithanai vettaveliyil nee nattamadinai arunachala. Akhandavritya, incessantly, uninterruptedly meditate, identify with that, atmataya anubhavaya, do the bhavana that I am that, I am that, I am that. So, nuṇmatiyā, with subtle intellect, probe this I thought, seek this I thought, where from it arises. You find that it arises in the heart, and when you seek, it merges in the heart, and there you find there is that maunam, that shanti. And you have to practice. Practice means becoming, let it become natural to you. Let the stillness, let that quietude become natural to you. To remain, become habituated with that quietude, with that stillness, with that maunam. That was what Bhagavan was doing in Arunachala, because his realization was already over in Madurai. He came to Tiruvannamalai, stayed in Patala Lingam, then stayed in Gurumurtam, then stayed in Pavilakkundru, Virupaksha Guha, Skandashramam. When whole thing was absolutely, completely absorbed, then the fruit was there for everyone to enjoy in Ramanashram. Till then, Arunachala kept it safe in the hill. Malai Marundu, the medicine was getting ready in the hill. And the medicine became Jivattuyirayum பரத்துயிரையும் சேர்த்திருக்க பிடித்து ஒன்றாக்கி பாவத்தில் நின்று தன்னை மறந்து பரம் ஆகி பழுத்து தனித்து விட்டான். வெரி பியூட்டிஃபுல் தமிழ். ஜீவத்துயிரையும் பரத்துயிரையும் சேர்த்து இருக்க பிடித்து ஒன்றாக்கி. That bhava, no? Very, very powerful song. Thinganichuvayāhinōn. He became a very sweet fruit which everyone can taste. It's available for the world to taste. But how? That jivattuyir, that jivabhava, the ahankara, and parattuyir, the state where the jivabhava, the I thought is not arising, that pure consciousness, pure awareness, shuddha bodha svabhava, that state, in that state the jivabhava was made to merge. The ego is not allowed to usurp, to come up. Parattuyirayum சேர்த்திருக்க பிடித்து ஒன்றாக்கி, make it one. Then that is a bhavasthiti, you have to remain in that state, nirvikalpa samadhi, for a long duration. Whatever duration is possible, up to that time, allow the mind to stay in that state. Bhavathi nindru. And the very ego is completely forgotten. See, you keep it merged, that is one thing. Completely forget means that is another thing. Some negative person is there. Whenever you are reminded of him, you get disturbed. So what do? You try not to think about him. And ultimately you become successful, not to think about him. So there you have attained sufficient success. But whenever he comes to see you, you are again affected. But suppose you completely forget him. Even if he comes before you, you are not able to remember who he is. Then you are absolutely free. Like that, the Jiva Bhava, the old person, is completely forgotten. Tannai marandu. That ego is completely forgotten. That old personality is completely given up. Tannai marandu. Then what am I? Of course, if I am not that person, who am I? Paramagi. I am that supreme. I am that param. I am that which is not the waking, the dream, the deep sleep, the turiya vastu. Paramagi. So, for a few minutes, for a few moments, one takes a dip into that supreme turiya avastha, that itself is great. If the mind takes a single dip into that state, the face becomes so radiant, the person, you see that he is an enlightened being. But Paramagi, remaining in that Padacchēdam, means he has become very Nigama Kalpataroho Galitam Phalam. Galitam Phalam means the fruit falls from the tree. The tree of samsara can no more hold that fruit, so the fruit can no more remain in samsara. It is impossible. And a grihastha wanted to give up his grihastha ashrama. He asked Bhagavan, may I give up all this, family life is troublesome. Bhagavan said, what did they do to you? You identify with family, man. That is why you want to renounce. Find out, know who you are. Then you will be free. Wherever you are, you will be free. Then he asked, then Bhagavan, why did you renounce? Bhagavan said, I did not ask anybody like you. Because when the time comes, it falls. I did not question whether I should renounce or not or anything. The fruit became so ripe, paramagi, pazhuttu, and pazhuttu means what? Thanittu vittan. No other go. Thanittu vittan. It became thani. Thani means it became alone. It became single. It becomes completely free. That is the very nature of that jnanam. Jnanam sannyasa lakshanam. Shankaracharya quotes, Jnanam is sannyasa. Bhagavan also says that. When Kavyakanta asks Bhagavan about sannyasa, Bhagavan says, Sannyaso nirmalam jnanam. Kashayo nachamundaram. Sannyasa is pure jnanam. It is neither kashaya vastram nor tonsure in the head. It is pure jnanam is sannyasa. But sannyas, jnanam sannyasa lakshanam, another meaning which Shankaracharya gives is, I also thought that what Bhagavan said is one side of the story. On another side, Shankaracharya says the very nature of the jnanam is sannyasam. It is not this outer sannyasam. It is renunciation in its true sense. It need not be like kashayam or mundanam or anything. It is absolute cleanliness, absolute renunciation, absolute asangata. Absolutely, the person becomes free. That is what this song also says. Paramagi, he is no more this person. So, this person never comes to the scene. The Aadhaar card person is absent. Identity card, Aadhaar card, passport, visa, nothing works. Because that person is not there. Bhagavan could not put a signature. The person is gone. Why not? Okay, the signature he need not put, but if for the world you can do something. The problem is, Jnani is established in Satyam. So, even a little bit of untruth is very painful for him. Apashruti. It's like a great musician, not even a single wrong note, he will be able to endure. That is why, while sitting for eating, Bhagavan's physical, see, Ramakrishna had some nature, Bhagavan had some other nature. Ramakrishna had some other things like he cannot touch metal, because generally, sannyasa dharma, they will not use metal things. So that was so ingrained in him. That is why they will eat only in wooden. That's all tradition, but it represents the money or something like that. So that is why Ramakrishna was very allergic to that. And Swami Vivekananda wanted to test Ramakrishna. So he put a coin inside his bed. And when Ramakrishna was about to sit in the bed, he said, "Oh, it is burning, I don't know, something is there, you check whether something is there." And they found the coin. And Naren was laughing there. He looked at Narendra and said, "You rascal, you want to test me?" Okay, test. So that was, he had so many things, he was allergic, many things like that. So Bhagavan's allergy was to this samatva darshanam. So he will sit for eating food with everybody. And this cook in the kitchen, they will want to do something special to him. And that will be very, very difficult for him. It's not that he also understands that certain things are needed, but he will not accept. He could not, because that was so much ingrained in his system. We will ask certain things, Bhagavan's, there is no, it is not that intellectually understood that knowledge and took that all are same. So no, that was not. That the impact of the knowledge was such that became his habit, his bodily habit. So he will sit with everybody for food, and one day the doctor said, "You should give a little more butter. In fact, Bhagavan should take curd. Buttermilk is not enough. You should give him curd." See, the devotees are all visitors, so they can go home and take curd. That is common sense. But Bhagavan is every day taking food, so he cannot have the same food like others. That is common sense. So Bhagavan will not accept it. Whatever the devotees eat, only that I can eat. That was not an ideal. He was not taking an ideal. That was his nature. So he could not jump out of it. So they found out a technique. In the vessel where they were serving buttermilk, there were 2 spoons. And in one spoon, karandi, it was used to give buttermilk to everybody. And another spoon was already carrying, a big spoon was carrying curd inside the vessel. So they said, when you come to Bhagavan, take this and put it. And it was not complete curd, otherwise Bhagavan will easily find out. So it was a little bit mixed. Neither liquid nor solid, but fluid. So that way they have managed technique. And the saddest part of the event is, they took a very humble lady, that Varanasi Subbalakshmi Amma, to do that. If it is Shantama Pati or someone, they are very strong people. And she was doing this very difficult job. Perhaps that was her first experience. So she took the risk. And putting a buttermilk to everyone, she nicely took, you cannot cheat him that way. She took the other spoon and served it to Bhagavan. Bhagavan looked at her like this and said, "Subbalakshmi Amma, நீ என்ன போட்டிருக்கே தெரியுமா? விஷம்." He said, "It is poison." That body, that lady started shivering, high fever that night. She could not face Bhagavan for some days because of that incident. Then Bhagavan said, "What did I say? I only said that samatvam should be maintained. See Swami in everyone. And this is okay. This swabhava everyone will love. Bhagavan taking only what we also take. Okay. But when they wanted to give medicine to Bhagavan, Bhagavan said everyone should take. Then we will find what is this? And one day Chadwick said, Bhagavan, so many medicines are there, Bhagavan is not using, Chavanaprasham is there. And many others, what Bhagavan did? Sometimes it all looks idiotic. Bhagavan took a vessel, put all medicine inside it. Even ointments. Chadwick said some of them were poisonous. And he mixed everything. And the horror of it, he will give it to everyone. It will, because, see, this shows that it was not a thought about idea. That is why I am saying this. It was not a thought about idea. It was his very physical pattern was like that. The jnanam was absorbed. He was not using the mind or brain to do that. The very nature of the jnanam was in the plane of reaction. It was like that. He was not even responding. He was reacting. Response means you take some time, think and do it. No. Spontaneity was Advaita for him. It was Nisarga. Nisarga means spontaneous. In spontaneity, for him, you and I are one. It was not an idea. It was not an ideal. It was not an intellectual knowledge. It is like you itch in this hand, the whole body feels it. Like that, it was so natural. So, the highest yogi, as Krishna says in Gita, is like that. Atma upamyena sarvatra samam pashyati Arjuna sukham va yadi va dukkham sayogi paramo mataha. He is the supreme yogi. He sees the Atman in everyone. So, thanai marandu paramagi pazhuttu. That pazhukkiradhu idhudhaan. And அளவுக்கு பழுப்பு நம்மளால் தாங்காது இல்லையா? Become ripe with that jnanam. தனித்து விட்டான். தனித்து விட்டான் means he goes out of the society. No more. He is just there for the society to worship. That's all. He is not useful for the transaction, vyavahara, samsara. He becomes pure gold. With pure gold you cannot make ornament. You need corruption, mixture. Paramagi pazhuttu thanittu vittan. How it happens? Eழுமகந்தை எங்கு எழும், when you seek the I thought merges and what remains there is pure self. And that self is me. That is the Atma. That is the Shuddha Chaitanya. All religions talk about world, God and the individual. Shri Bhagavan has so far spoken about the world and God. Dehona vakti satona janma deha pramanonya udeti madhe ahankriti granthi vibandha sukshma sharira no enadu bhavajivanama no in the shlokam navakti dehoham iti prasuptau nakopi nabhuvam iti pravakti etrodide sarvamudeti tasya dhiya ahamah shodhaya janmadesham. The body never says I. Navakti deha ahamiti prasuptau nakopi nabhuvam iti pravakti. Nobody says I was absent in sleep. Etrodide sarvamudeti tasya. Where the I thought arises, when the I thought arises, everything arises. Dhiya, with pure intellect, shodhaya, investigate, probe. Ahamaha janmadesham, the spot, place where the I arises, search it. So that is why yesterday we said, we are entering into the plane of I current. The talk, the satsanga is entering into the plane of I current. The current of I, the aham, the dhara which Bhagavan speaks. Atmasrota. It is the stream. The Buddhist scriptures, there is a saying that the yogi who has caught hold of it, the plane of Shakti, they call him as the stream winner. He is a stream winner. The sadhaka has now caught hold of the inner stream. He is not simply outwardly struggling. He has really found something which is very palpable, alive. That is the stream, the srota, the current. So our talk also now is entering into, it is like touching the live wire. The wire where the current is on, it is flowing. Like that is this I thought. The I, which Bhagavan says, aham, aham, aham. So you search where from this I thought, this throb of I arises. So then you find the I, you seek the I, you find that there is a spot, a state where there is no I thought. And that state, that purnada, that maunam is my real state. That is myself. That is me. And you get familiar with that state. Only when the individual I sprouts do the body, mind, time, space, etc. become perceptible. The subtle intellect has the ability to observe the rising of the individual I. Bhagavan calls this nuṇmatiyā, the subtle intellect. Sadhanas such as japa, meditation and other austerities and actions performed with detachment, nishkama karma, are all prescribed only to purify the mind to attain this refined power to inquire. When the I thought arises from the state of bliss in deep sleep, the first throb in stillness can be perceived. The first throb in stillness as I. The stir creates dreams. The moment the I thought comes, the dream also gets stirred from nowhere. Gradually the ego takes the form of the personality, and then the physical body and the world becomes perceptible. This is a phenomenon we notice every day as we wake up from sleep. What becomes clear from this is that it is with the rising of the ego we are estranged from that blissful state, that well-beingness. So when you search the I thought to the source and make it merge in that inner, ஜீவத்துயிரையும் பரத்துயிரையும் சேர்த்து இறுக்கப்பிடித்து ஒன்றாக்கி. It looks as if you are putting some effort, both are pulled and made to embrace, but nothing like that. You just search the ego and you find it is not real, and you need power of meditation to remain in that state. That's all. So நீனானர புலிநிதம் களிமயமாய் நின்றிடும் நிலை அருளருணாச்சல. Like that. இந்த நான் எங்கு எழுமென்று நுண்மதியால் என். In these words, Bhagavan Ramana expounds his direct path of self-enquiry. As we wake up from deep sleep, the feeling of I am so and so arises. I am so and so arises. If we carefully observe where from this I arises, it disappears just like the mirage. That vanishes, meṛuminda, when one goes near. You see water in the desert, they call it, what do they call it? Mirage. That mirage, you see, it doesn't exist there. It looks like water, but you go there, no water. It's called mirage. Then, like that, when one goes near, this ego also disappears like mirage. This is Atma Vichara. And what remains, there it is desert. But it is not desert here. It is Shanti. Tracing that source of this I is the technique of Hridaya Vidya or Ramana Vidya. This is explained in detail in the forthcoming Venbas. Sri Bhagavan turned all these 42 Venbas into one Kali Venba. This is a literary device in Tamil in which one verse is linked with the subsequent verse, thereby connecting all the verses stylistically into one Venba, when it is then transformed into a Kali Venba. This shloka that ends with nuṇmatiyā, when changed into Kali Venba, was expanded as nuṇmatiyā ṇellā. When you, with subtle intellect, you inquire, then you find ṇellā. ṇellā varudhu enna solradhu English. It's so slippery. The ego is slippery. You just inquire, it slips. The fellow runs away, says Bhagavan. Odu. Thedinal otam pidikkum. He just runs away. You seek him, he is no more to be found. So, with purified intellect, when the source of emergence of the I is investigated, the I thought disappears and the pure eternal existence, consciousness, bliss alone remains as the residuum. The same idea is expressed in the words Thedinal Otam Pidikkum. The Atman, the existence of which is experienced in deep sleep, in the absence of the body. How is one to know it now? Bhagavan mentions the three levels: dēham, nāham, koham, soham. Deho, nāham, koham, soham. Many people do not know that dēham is also Ubhayalingam. It is there. Dēham also is there. And dēha also is there. Bhagavan has used dēham mridmaya vajjadatmakam. So here, koham, who am I? And soham, I am the self. There is a story of a little girl. G.V. Subramaya was a devotee from Andhra. A story. Used to visit Bhagavan and consider Bhagavan like his father. Certain devotees, when they come to Bhagavan, first time itself they become so free. So they had the same attitude all their life. So he used to feel Bhagavan as his father and talk very free with Bhagavan. So whenever G.V. Subramaya comes, they used to say Ramanashram will be all kala kala kala. All sound, talking, everything. Devaraja Mudaliyar and G.V. Subramaya. Only these two people, generally they say they will talk with Bhagavan very freely. And sometimes some other devotees, they used to feel it disturbance also. Kanakama used to tell me, we used to wonder how this person is talking. About Devaraja Mudaliyar, not G.V. Subramaya. About Devaraja Mudaliyar. He will talk to Bhagavan. Many things he will talk. So, he was a very simple devotee. He had two daughters, Lalita and Indra. Both these girls were blessed with Bhagavan's grace. Lalita used to get into the hall and play with Bhagavan's walking stick, books and other things. Now and then Bhagavan would ask this mischievous little 5-year-old girl, "Hey, what are you doing? Enna pandren?" And she would reply, "Onnume pannaliye." She will say, "I am not doing anything." Hearing this, Bhagavan would smile and remark, "This is jnanam." Always remaining like this is jnanam. Even after doing all this mischief, she says, "I am not doing anything." Yasya nahangardo karmani agarmaya pashyat. See, this is jnanam. You do whatever you have to do, but no doership at all. That little girl Indra, Bhagavan taught these children, I am not the body, who am I? I am the self. Deho nāham, dēham nāham, koham soham. Everybody used to make them repeat this. Actually, they themselves picked up these words. It is not Bhagavan taught them. They were studying it from Ulladu Narpadu, Upadesha Undiyar in Telugu. And from Telugu script, they picked up these 3 words and they used to come with it to Bhagavan. And Bhagavan, you have taken the essence. And now repeat. Bhagavan said, no, now repeat. And they will repeat. Dēham nāham, koham soham. I am not the body. Who am I? I am the self. I am not the body. Then Bhagavan will, every time Bhagavan used to see them and he will say, chant that, tell that. And that child will say, Dēham nāham, koham soham. And Muruganar once asked Bhagavan such difficult things. These children are saying, is it possible for such small children to understand all these things? Bhagavan said, Buddhiyala purinjukarada oi. He asked Muruganar, do you then say that only through the intellect one has to understand? Muruganar said, I was shocked because I should not have asked this to Bhagavan. He was just transmitting the knowledge by his grace. After that, after vacation, when they were about to return home, they went up the hill. While Bhagavan was going towards the hill, you see, in Ramana Ashram kitchen side, there are 2 rock pillars and some steps. And on the other side also 2 rock pillars and some steps. You can see the video also, Bhagavan coming down through that area. So that is very common for Bhagavan to walk and come down. Sometimes he will come down through this side or that side. Recently they removed that pillar. And one devotee was crying, oh, Bhagavan has walked this place, he has touched this place. They were removing that. Then I told Sundarana, see Sundarana, this is very important place. I think Sushilamani was also there. I never expected that they will replace it, but they replaced it. They replaced it. But it was broken, but it was replaced. Right side thing, near the kitchen. So, while Bhagavan was going up, the G.V. Subramaya went there with his children to take leave. Then Bhagavan looked at that girl, Indra, and said, tell me the mantra. And she said, Dēham nāham, I am not the body. Koham, who am I? Soham, I am that. I am he. Then Bhagavan touched her with his stick and said, Nee o edathukku po, na yen edathukku poren. I go to my place, you go to your place. And your place is what? Ahandai elumidattai, elumbum ahandai, diya ahamashodaya janmadesham. The desham, janmadesham, where the I had its birth. That is your desham. So go there. And Bhagavan said this and just walked up the hill. They went. A few days after this child had some problem. And in few months she died. While dying, they say that she was chanting this, Dēham nāham, koham soham. And G.V. Subramaya made a samadhi for this child and kept a board there where it was written. It is written, Dēham nāham. I don't know whether it is there now also, their place, native place. I am not the body. Who am I? I am the self. So this was given to that child. So, this is the 23rd verse. And there is a poem also here. ocean of existence. Learn to turn within and look at the eye by the eye. Pour the water of attention into the heart. Heart is the ocean of existence, awareness and peace. Let the mind, like a bubble, drop into the expanse of being. Let the iceberg of the ego move or melt in the waters of existence. Let the froth of thoughts move or vanish in the sea of pure consciousness. Water alone is oneness. Non-dual awareness alone reigns supreme. So, we will continue the 24th verse tomorrow. Jadagudal nāṉeṇḍṛது சச்சித்து உதியாது உடலளவாய் நானொன்று உதிக்கும் இதை இடையில் இது சிஜ்ஜட கிரந்தி பந்தம் ஜீவன் நுட்பமை அகந்தை இச்சம்சார மனம் என எண்ணு. This we will continue tomorrow. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala. Yato mamatma bhavasi tumeva tato na vachyam mama kinchidasti yatha taveshtam kurumam tateva tvamatmanatham ramanam bhajami.